And today we are going to be bringing to you one such digital leader. And before I actually introduce him and the company, I want to take a few minutes for setting of context. Now, as we move towards the digital economy, it is fundamentally altering the way businesses operate, and organizations are reimagining all aspects of the business, whether it is how they manufacture, their supply chain and distribution networks, how they service. It is all changing the way they interact with their customers as well as the rest of the ecosystem of employees and partners. And today, more than ever, businesses need to reinvent as they try to recover from the prevailing uncertainty. Now, data is at the center of all this. Data, as well as deriving meaningful insights from it through analytics, are key to the digital transformation that businesses are undergoing today and enabling the reinvention that I've spoken about. So several factors underpin the success of any analytics program. It is easier access to increasing amounts of data and integration from multiple sources, faster insights and time to value, higher prediction accuracy, capability to process large data volumes at high speeds, fully optimizing for the prediction run duration. So all this while reducing the operational costs and enhancing security. Now, legacy architectures that lack agility, speed, and scalability are not optimized to deliver on these outcomes. So what is required to plug all these gap areas to truly accelerate and optimize analytics is a truly modernized architecture that is seamless, intuitive, and future-ready. And that architecture comes with cloud. And today's session, we will see how one company is leveraging cloud for running a highly secure and scalable analytics platform. The company that I'm talking about here is Firechat Solutions, one of the leading business process management companies. And to talk about how cloud helped this BPM company scale and truly optimize its analytics platform, I have with me Anant Kumar, DGM Analytics Firechat Solutions. Anant has over 14 years of experience in the field of data and analytics and building data-based products. He leads the data sciences team in the role of a solutions expert, consulting clients across various industries, including healthcare, CPG, manufacturing, and utility companies. His expertise spans across traditional analytics and BI solutions to building highly complex machine learning models on unstructured big data. Thank you so much, Anand, and welcome to the show. And to take the discussion forward and understand Firechat's cloud journey, I would like to invite Deepak Ajmani, Country Head, Corporate Business, Google Cloud. Deepak is a part of the executive leadership team at Google Cloud India. His team at Google engages with customers and partners to increase market awareness and ensure customer success on Google Cloud. Deepak is an industry veteran with over 22 years of experience in leading and scaling business units at companies such as Oracle and Dell EMC. So welcome, Deepak. And before I hand it over to both our speakers, I would encourage you to drop in your questions in the question box, which is there in front of you, while the fireside chat is going on. If you have any questions for Anand or Deepak, feel free to drop them and we will take them during the live Q&A session. So thank you so much, Anand, for joining us, and Deepak, over to you to take the discussion forward.
Thank you, Shipra. Good afternoon to everybody, and welcome, Anand, to this fireside chat. I have a bunch of very serious questions for you today in terms of your cloud journey, a little bit about Firechat, and how we're going to move forward. So let's take the next 25-30 minutes to sort of set the context around how cloud has been a super useful vehicle for you to sort of accelerate your growth transformation journey. With that, can you just tell us a little bit about Firechat's journey and how it has grown to become one of the leading business process management companies today?
Sure. First of all, thanks for having me. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Deepak. To your question, regarding Firechat's journey. So Firechat, as some of you may know, is part of the RP Sanjeev Goenka group, which is a large conglomerate here operating in several sectors in India, with revenues in upwards of $4 billion every annual revenue of the group. First was the company started, way back in 2001, and it has undergone several transformations. It was listed on the Indian stock exchanges in 2007, and the company, how we see it today, primarily works in different industries. The major focus has been in the US and UK markets. That's where we have our biggest presence. We currently serve, close to more than 100 customers across the world, operating, out of 36 odd data, centers in 4 different places. So we offer both, offshore and rightshore, offerings to our customers, and the industries that we work in, right? So we are currently primarily focused on the US healthcare industry, both the payer and the provider side. We have, a large presence in the BFSI industry, where we do a lot of work with customers in terms of, collections, their back office processing. We do a lot of, loan processing for mortgage customers. So significant presence in BFSI. And then we have presence in the communications, media, and technology, which are some of our largest customers, offering them customer experience management services to them. We also have our diverse industries wherein we serve utilities and other, companies who need these BPM services. In terms of our, overall growth, our company currently, has solutions spanning across, customer experience management. We do a lot of back office processing. Like I mentioned, collections and recoveries. Intelligent automation and analytics are some of our differentiators, that we're bringing to the market as well. So that's quite been the journey of, how Firstsource has grown from being a simple, BPM provider, giving, offshore advantage to our customers, to now driving, building a lot of digital services for our customers and giving them that competitive edge. So
awesome.
That's been a journey.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So tell me, Anant, when Firstsource wanted to position its analytics platform as a key business offering to its customers, what challenges were you facing around scaling it up? And what kind of roadblocks did the existing architecture pose in light of the growing code base for you?
Sure. So, analytics as a service, primarily this was not where our company operated in. We started on this journey of bringing in analytics. We were slightly delayed, but better late than never. Any time is as good a time. So, in around the end of 2017, we started building the practice as such, the analytics practice. And, we started on this journey for analytics platform development almost around 2018. So it's been, a couple of years since we've been developing this. While we're developing, our idea was fairly simple. We wanted to, go to the market. We wanted to build something, especially coming from analytics background, right? I understand that, there is a lot of, enhancements. There's a lot of new things that are coming every day. And it is almost impossible for you to expect somebody to know the entire value chain. So it also becomes important of how you can bridge that gap between data science and data scientist, right? So we wanted to bring together a platform that is able to, allow a data scientist to operationalize, build, prototype models fairly quickly, right? Number one. Number two, because we were starting in the journey, we understood, back then that it's important not only to have digital services and solutions within the company, but it is also important to have a digital mindset, right? So we wanted to democratize data science, within our organization. By that I mean, we wanted to create citizen data scientists. There are several experienced folks who've been with our company for long years. They've been, making decisions on a regular basis. How do we give them capabilities that allows them to make better decisions, right? How can we do that? So that was basically our idea. Can we build something? Can we build a platform that allows for both things at the same time? So from there, I think what you asked me is the challenges that we had. We typically started with, as with any product development, we started by having MVP built, fairly simple, something that we can run past our investors in the company, build a case for building something like this, monolithic architecture, standard technology stack. We had Ruby on Rails at the back end. We had a SQL Server DB, Node.js, fairly simple solution stack, and we built this monolithic architecture. But and when our stakeholders, our sponsors, they liked the whole concept, we went ahead to build something that is able to go well in the market. We can go to the market fast. So what are the challenges over there, right? Typically, we saw number one, being agile, because this is not an established product. We wanted to be agile. We wanted to be, scalability, right? Of course, starting up, we didn't know where it's going to go, which way is it headed, how will our customers react to it. So depending on that, scalability was an issue. Security, right? We were very, very, aware that security will become a risk. GDPR was just about coming in that time. We knew that it'll come in, with the markets that we operate in, the UK market primarily, the Europe business, and the US. There are several security issues over there. So we definitely kept that in mind. And lastly, and most important, as with any development, was the cost, right? So we looked at that was a big challenge. We couldn't go with something that is too capex heavy, right, to start with, because we don't even know how we're going to recoup our investments. So we wanted something that is quite agile, scalable, secure, and comes at a cost-effective way. These are some of the challenges that we saw initially on, starting with our journey from moving to MVP to, the product as such.
So in that journey, when you decided to enhance the existing analytics platform and modernize its architecture, why did you decide cloud to be the right solution? What were some of the key outcomes that you expected a modern cloud-based architecture to deliver on?
Right. So I think I'd like to tie that up with, what I just, the challenges that we are facing, right? I spoke about, being agile. We had a monolithic architecture to begin with. Niveus came in, who are our application development partners, we brainstormed on this together, thinking about, how best to sort of, address all these various challenges. So I think, we brought in microservices-based architecture on which, the analytics first platform, what we call it, is built on, right? Microservices architecture allows us for rapid prototyping. It allows us for, continuous integration, continuous deployment, no services going down while some other service is being, so it allowed us to be extremely, flexible in our development journey. Secondly, in terms of scalability, right? The native, framework of Kubernetes, really made us go this way, right? It allows us to, auto scale, once you containerize any service, depending upon how the loads are increasing or decreasing. So, it serves both our purposes. It serves from a cost perspective, plus in terms of, handling large amounts of data. So scalability, that's where, I think the Kubernetes framework and, Google's built-in framework, that too, it really helped us sort of make this decision. I think in terms of privacy, Niveus brought in a very good, thought and the kind of, infrastructure level testing that they suggested, as well as, application level testing, secure testing that we talked about. I think all of that made us feel that, yes, this will be a secure platform. It is hosted on Google Cloud. Just to give you an example, a year back, we had a large banking customer, and you know how banking customers are extremely fishy about their data moving anywhere, right? So we handle, some of their services. We handle collection services for them, and we wanted to build models on top. And once we told them that we were going to use the Analytics First platform, they had some innovations initial on. It's going to go to the cloud. We worked with your group to go through all the certifications, testing that has been done. Once we showed it to them, they were very happy to come on board. So it just keeps on, telling us that, we made the right decision, right? And in terms of cost, again, cloud gave us the ability to not sort of go in for the whole lot of hardware initial on, and just go with cloud, pay as you go. Whenever we needed more infrastructure, we can get it. I think some of the concepts of preemptive VMs and stuff further helped us reduce our cost. We were able to build our staging environment on preemptive VMs, whereas our production environment on regular VMs. So that way, we all of these things contributed to saying, let's go with cloud rather than have a traditional on-prem, development.
Well, that's awesome to hear. And since you spoke about a banking customer, I'm actually very keen to understand, how did cloud really help FirstSource reach out to customers as a SaaS offering, which is easily deployable, scalable, as well as secure, given that you're dealing with a lot of customer data? You use banking customers as an example, but are there other areas where you may have deployed your solution as a SaaS offering that was secure, that was scalable across a wide spectrum of other customers?
Right. We did in fact. So once we started off on our journey, I think, cloud, like I said, helped us quickly move from ideation to prototyping to actual development, right? Frankly, it would have been a long cycle, but this was quite easy. Once we built our, initial sort of framework, we laid it down. We started thinking about, how we can build it step-by-step manner, depending upon, how the industry, how our stakeholders, various people, adapt to it. As I told you, the idea about the platform was to serve, both data scientists as well as the business user, create citizen data scientists within the company. One of the first modules that we built in was the automated data cleaning. What we have, our data scientists were spending a lot of time. Typically, in a data science environment, if it takes 10 days to build, a data model, you're spending 7 days cleaning and prepping up your data. Building of the model is, fairly small time. But so what we wanted to do was, we built in that automated, data cleaning module on our platform. We then went about operationalizing our, data science module, which has several recipes, that our business analysts, our data engineers could use to build models, classification models, regression models. The recipe is already there. All you need to bring is the data, and you can go from, say, data to insights in under an hour, right? So we did that, and then using that, we started building a lot of solutions for our customers. One of them I just told you, about collections prioritization. Which we used the Analytics First platform to do that. Secondly, we also used, we developed, we are a large people-intensive company. We are close to 21,000 people in our organization. Workforce management is quite important. So we built a forecasting module for our workforce management team. which is quickly able to sort of develop models and predict, what is the volume of call that one can expect on the next day, a week from now, 10 days from now. Simple time series models, but earlier we would take, anywhere close to 2 to 3, days to sort of, get the data, build it, using all the different tools. We are able to operationalize it and give it to our business users. They're able to develop a model in 15 minutes. So if some sort of market dynamics changes, some data point changes, all they need to do is bring it in, build a new model because your data has changed, and look at, how your predictions are going to look at, right? So we did it for them. We also operationalized, this is very crucial. We built a solution for our digital mailroom operations. We provide, digital mailroom services to a large healthcare payers in the US, wherein we take their claim documents that are coming in every day, and there are copious number of claim documents. We have a very, very stringent SLA to sort of, get those, they're scanned in our US centers, they are shipped off to offshore, and, they need to go back with certain additional information on each claim, back within 24 hours. So in order to classify these documents into different, buckets, we built highly complex, computer vision based, neural network based models to automatically classify documents into different types. And we operationalize that on the platform. So, we are able to, go anywhere close to handle, 10 to 12,000 documents a day with processing speed of, 1 to 2 seconds. We're meeting, customer SLAs on a regular basis. So I think these are some of the initial solutions, whereas, I can talk about some of the other ones as well. But more so, these were our biggest sort of, impactful solutions that we were able to develop.
Thanks for that. Actually, you may have answered my next question already, but I'll still go ahead and ask you that. So I was going to ask you, how has cloud enhanced the analytics platform to deliver optimum results to your customers around prediction, accuracy, time to process large volumes of data? Can you share some more examples of the improvements you have seen on these key metrics that are so important to our customers?
Sure. So I think, I've already spoken about how cloud has helped us, right? If I take a step back, right, saying about, how would cloud help analytics function, right? The way I look at it, machine learning, building quantitative models, there are 3 different aspects to it, right? Number 1 is data, right? We need large and large amounts of data to improve our accuracies, to build robust models, without bias, all of that, right? Number 2, and which is in, number 1 is in not in crunch, but it's sitting all over the place. Number 2 is our data scientist, right? Which is very much a crunch today in market, right? The skill set for somebody to, able to take all of this data and apply the right techniques to it, right? And number 3 is, the compute capacity. Whereas, in the traditional analytics, when I started, we would work on sample of data good enough for Excel to do it, no machine learning involved, traditional statistical techniques used over there. Nowadays, with machine learning, you're not talking sample, you're talking the entire population of data, right? You're just taking it, ingesting it, using the algorithm to predict. So compute power becomes extremely important, right? I think from that compute power is what we got from the cloud. We were able to get it quickly, and we were able to get it, fairly at a relatively okay cost, right? Some of our models that we trained, the image model that I just talked to you about, need extremely expensive GPU machines, GPU servers. Today I'm able to get a GPU server in 15 minutes. Sometimes it's a crunch, by the way, on Google Cloud, but we're still able to rapidly get it and build our models over there. So getting the machine was quite simple. In terms of the metrics, that you asked, how we were able to do that. The answer that I just gave you, the forecasting solution, we were able to move from we were able to go up to an accuracy of 95% almost in predicting our call volumes, which is very, very good. It adds a lot of impact for our customers. In the last 1 year, through the development of our collections model, we were able to give an uplift of more than $5 million to our customers because of the building of the collection prioritization model. Again, whether it's a function of cloud or it's a function of the analytical model itself, that's a separate point. But the point that we were able to prototype and build something like this quickly is a testament in itself. So we were able to do that. We were able to process a lot of documents on our analytics platform for our document model. That was, again, we've attained significantly high, good processing times. We are able to set up parallel processes, get compute as and when. And we've also done, so there are a few other modules, right? So we've also enabled a BI module. So apart from the data sciences, we have an actionable BI module in the platform. What we've allowed, several of our users to do is bring together data from, different places and quickly, build reports that would generally come from, 3 different departments, folks sitting over there churning MIS reports. We've automated the entire data pipeline. So it's quickly able to extract data from the underlying, SAP DB, SQL servers, bring forth dashboards. So we've done a solution for our HR team, the HR analytics solution, which is basically, some of the reports that used to come, maybe a week late, we are now able to get it on near real-time basis. So whenever the database is updated, the front-end views are updated, we're able to make much faster, much more informed decisions. So all of these, there are quite a few. And, it just goes on. It's becoming very good for us because we've used a lot of it internally for first choice. When we go to our customers and tell them, we've done this internally, we have seen these benefits. This is added advantage of them believing that, yes, it worked for their processes, their solutions as well.
Awesome. So these are some excellent examples and great use cases, and I'm glad to hear that you're doing so much with the help of cloud and analytics. Now, coming back to just the whole timing, the whole go-to-market strategy, right? So, in this current business scenario, time is of the essence. Now, how has cloud enabled you to go faster into the market with new feature releases, and how have you been able to operationalize new customers with the help of that cloud and analytics ability?
Time is definitely of essence, and I think, Deepak, you would appreciate this more than I do. You would know, how long, procurement cycles can be in organizations, right? Building of a platform like this not only needs, stakeholder approvals, but, you need to go through a whole cycle of procuring hardware, getting the necessary resources, starting your build. All of this is a very, very time-taking process. Today, we are able to get on to Google Cloud. When we started, we first of all signed up, just used a credit card and signed up on Google Cloud. Later, we moved to a more structured way of, using and invoicing. But, that time is cut short fairly a lot, I would say, right? Second thing, in terms, when I think about time is primarily around, prototyping. Today, you cannot go to the market and sell a service just based on your, on a PowerPoint. You can have a thought, you can have an entire idea, but your customer is not able to, or they're reluctant to buy in today's market unless they're able to touch, feel, experience product solutions, even if they're software solutions, right? So I think prototyping has become fairly fast with cloud. We've used in several instances, when we are building text-based solutions, say maybe for a customer, right? We are able to quickly prototype using, the APIs that are available on Google Cloud, apart from using the infrastructure, the ML APIs. We are a customer experience management company, right? We do a lot of, we're bringing in new tech. So prototyping chatbots, you have the Google Dialogflow, right? We're able to prototype these things fairly quickly. And when we're able to show to our customers that this is how things will look, this is what the output will be there. Once we get that buy-in, then it becomes fairly easy for us to sort of, then go about building a bespoke solution, building a customized solution that, exactly is for their data and to suit their needs. So in terms of time, I cannot stress enough, this is of most importance. When we talk, we are also able to show once a customer, puts together their requirements, we're able to prototype something within a week, right? Not possible without all the capabilities that cloud is offering today.
Fantastic, Anand. And last question for you, really. So moving forward, how do you think you're going to leverage cloud to enhance the capability of the platform to expand and grow the analytics business at FirstSource?
Sure. I think the future is quite exciting. We are in times where FirstSource is moving towards a digital first, digital now approach. Our digital first, digital now approach basically sits on the basis of creating a digital services practice, right, on the back of our platform-based services. So to give you an example, we're building entire collections, where we used to engage our customers through the traditional channels. We're moving away from that and, engaging customers through the digital channels. What we're adding to that is our platform-based service that augments our digital service. So now we're able to, analyze all of, the engagement data to create hyper-personalized, collection strategies across various groups, right? So that's where our focus has been. We've recently, come up with a new offering, which is basically our digitally empowered customer center. We call it the DECC. It is specifically designed to, cater to the interaction needs of the modern consumer. So, you're not just engaging, a company is not engaging with their customers just via, phone or the traditional channels, but also via, your email, chatbots, various interactions. So our entire digital strategy, we're going towards that approach, and we are augmenting all of it using, the platform. In terms of, the platform feature itself, we are looking at bringing in several new features into our offering. We are planning to bring in something like a federated machine learning approach. Typically we have the centralized machine learning where data is coming to the model. We want to take the model to the data, especially keeping in mind we want to rapidly increase the usage of analytics in several organizations which are very, very cagey about their data. They're very iffy about sharing of data anywhere else. So we want to build that into our platform offering. So all in all, I would say that exciting times, especially during the pandemic, with all the digitalization that is happening. I think we've set the fundamentals very well to now accelerate and offer our customers a lot of value from what we've invested our time in over the last couple of years.
Awesome, Anand. Thank you so much for taking on these questions. I'm sure they were very relevant to our audience today. And just to sort of again summarize, I think you've done an outstanding job of where we sort of started the journey, with a monolithic architecture, now sort of moving to a more modern, cloud-based analytical platform, which has so much more to offer to not just the customers, but also how you're using them internally. I think some of the things you spoke about in terms of building this whole forecasting model and how it improved accuracy up to 95% really stands out for me. The whole HR analytics journey, I think that's been fantastic to hear about. And clearly, I think, like you said, the future is exciting. There's just so much more we can do with the help of machine learning and artificial intelligence. And I'm glad to hear that, your journey with cloud and analytics has really been enriching. And I'm sure there's scope to add more as we move to a more digital first, digital now kind of an approach with our product set. So thank you again, Anand, for taking the time. I'm sure everybody found it informative. I'm going to pass this off to Shipra to take it away. And I'm sure we'll take on some more questions together, Anand. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Shipra, over to you, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Deepak. Thank you so much, Anand, for that really enlightening conversation. We actually saw the kind of business transformation that you have brought about leveraging cloud, and you really candidly shared your journey of modernizing your analytics platform on cloud. So whether it is improving prediction accuracy, speed, or quickly adding new data models and customers, I'm sure it would be a great learning experience for our audience around the impact that a modernized architecture that is cloud enabled can bring for them. And we really look forward to the kind of augmentations that you are looking at bringing into your platform, and wish you all the best for that. So, and thank you, Deepak, for that wonderful conversation and really bringing out the essence of the cloud journey of FirstSource. So thank you, both of you. And actually, I would now move to the next part of our session, which is the partner talking about cloud from his perspective. Now, we all agree that in the different pillars of a organization's cloud journey, one key pillar of that is the partner. The partnership which ensures that your cloud journey is truly optimized and to maximize the benefits and results that you have set out to achieve. And to talk about that, I would now like to invite Bharat Yaragati, Practice Head for Cloud Services at Niveus Solutions. Bharat has around 14 years of experience in delivering excellence to clients by partnering in their modernizing journeys across verticals like BFSI, digital natives, automotive, and media. Bharat is a cloud practitioner and an agile coach. Before I hand it over to Bharat, I would request everyone in our audience, if you haven't asked any questions, if you have any questions for Anand, Deepak, or Bharat, you can send them to us over the chat window, which is there in front of you, and we will get those questions answered live during the Q&A session after Bharat's presentation. So, Bharat, I'll hand it over to you here.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Shipra, and good evening, folks. And that was a very enlightening discussion, Anand and Deepak. Thanks for walking us through the journey that you have followed. What I'll do is in the next couple of minutes, I'll just talk about what we as a Google Cloud partner, we as Niveus Solutions do, and the areas in which we operate, and also try to give you some insights into the GCP solution tenets that we have used in implementing the solution which Anand and Deepak discussed, right? So I'm going to share my screen quickly. Would need a quick confirmation if you're able to see it. I hope it's visible, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So quick introduction to Niveus Solutions. So we are a Google Cloud partner with expertise in leveraging the cloud technologies, and we've been helping our clients across domains like BFSI, media, automotive, retail, and digital natives, specifically in the three areas that's application, infrastructure, and data modernization journeys. Right. We have a strong team of about 180 at this point of time. Probably when we put the slide together, it was around 150. And we've been growing at a scale of 5x year on year, with the GCP solutions that we're providing. And we have a customer base in India as well as in the US, right? So these are the different Google Cloud expertise that we have, at the industry level, at workload level, and at the technology level. We have an expertise in modernizing legacy applications, building cloud native applications, right? New business channels using the API platform, that's the APG, custom build app migrations, right? From a technology point of view, using the Google Cloud Compute, the app dev, the security and the identity access management, the databases, the storage. And with respect to industry, like I said, healthcare, BFSI, and media has been our stronger areas, right? So quickly, these are some of the solution tenets which we have used in modernizing the data journey of source, right? So from the compute aspects, we have used the compute engine, and all the microservices are hosted on containers which are orchestrated by the Google Kubernetes engine, that's the GKE. Right, and we've used cloud functions to put some of the business logic into the system in order to build their predictive models, right? Along by collaborating with Anand's team in order to come up with this whole holistic solution. From the storage point of view, we've used the cloud storage and the persistent disk that GCP has to offer. And from the development tool per se, it's the container registry to register the containers and Cloud SDK overall. And from the network point of view, we've been using the virtual private cloud, that's a VPN connectivity, to connect to the on-premises that services or solutions which are on-prem within the first source data center, to connect it to the applications that's hosted on Google Cloud. The load balancer, for load balancing the entire load across the various verticals. The cloud NAT, so basically where the clusters, the GKE clusters or the loads which are hosted can communicate or send the outward packages, right? And of course the cloud firewall rules to set up the whole security network part of it. And then we've used the cloud identity access management in order to give the access, to manage the whole access at the project level, right? Like who can access which components of this particular project, who can have the visibility to the billing, so that there is a very controlled way of executing this whole project. And of course the key management services, right? I'll take a few minutes to dive one level ahead of what do I mean when we say that we are working in infrastructure, modernization, application, data, and cloud security, right? We're talking about migrating legacy applications which have been hosted on the on-premises, either with the lift and shift where you first move to the Google Cloud and then kind of embrace the modernization journey, or you convert your monolithic legacy applications like what Anant was mentioning earlier when he was speaking. You convert them into microservices, host them on containers, and then deploy them on the cloud, right? This would give your applications the dynamic scalability, the pay as per usage, the high availability aspect of it. And with the CI/CD pipeline being set up, you'll be able, your teams would basically be able to focus on adding more features to your products or solutions rather than worrying about the underlying infrastructure, right? With the modernization of the infrastructure, your whole application level layer kind of becomes agnostic with respect to the underlying infrastructure level. So you would have then the choice to host it on-prem on GCP, right? Or even we are even looking at Anthos today, where we would have a multi-cloud or a hybrid cloud kind of setup, right? So that's pretty much what is done in infrastructure modernization. That's the via migration, the infrastructure as a code. Application modernization, yes, there are two aspects to it. One is building cloud native applications, which would again talk to your legacy applications via the API interface, or have the complete cloud native application built and hosted on cloud, like we have done for some of our BFSI clients like ICICI and LICHFL, and also some of the digital native companies, right? So here we are talking about building scalable applications, again using containers and Kubernetes, the serverless solutions, the CI/CD pipeline, and canary deployment, where you can roll out new features in your production environment without really bringing it down, and which should be released only to a certain set of customers. It could be based on geography, roles, or you would have a control over it. And once there is a wide acceptance of these features, it could be graphs, or it could be a whole a new feature, or even a bug fix, right? And once it's accepted is when we can go ahead and then kind of deploy it to the rest of the users, right? And in the data modernization, yes, it's the whole re-engineering of the modernizing the ETL process, right? Most of the organizations have a lot of data, right, which would have been collected across various applications or solutions, and this could be used. We could clean up this data, prepare it for a ML and AI kind of input, and then through the extract, transform, load structure by using GCP components like your data prep, data flow, data prop, move it to BigQuery, and then build ML and AI models around it in order to either build beautiful dashboards to give you the insights of how we are performing, how your various metrics are at this point of time, and also give you prediction models like how you can plan better in order to probably market the right product to the right person at the right time, right? The fourth aspect is, of course, the cloud security layer, where we are talking about security implementation at different layers. That's at the at a container level, right? At a data loss prevention, that is security at application, network, infrastructure, data, both at rest and at movement, right? At the API layer, where how you can securely expose the APIs that you have built in order to collaborate with the other partners, right? And of course, how the cloud resource security as a service can be provided, with all the audit logs and the firewall. Right. The typical way how we approach, or in a similar way how we have worked with even Anand's team is, right, we start with the cloud consulting, where we get into a next level of discussions with the tech teams of the respective organizations to try and understand how are their applications or workloads currently deployed, right? Where are they in the cloud journey? Are they at the begin it, or have they already embraced it in terms of VMs, or have they already started using the modern technologies like microservices and containers, right? Then we put a whole cloud journey kind of a roadmap to them, how they can take it to the next level by, which are the applications they should move first, which are the ones they should modernize. If they're introducing a new solution or product, can they look at building it directly on cloud and things like that, right? And the last piece, of course, is once all these applications are built and hosted on cloud, we also offer the, managed cloud as a service, where, we constantly monitor the whole infrastructure part of it. We set up custom alerts for various thresholds for different levels. It could be at application level, it could be at infrastructure level, right? And there's a whole reporting, automatic, reporting triggers which would happen on a base of weekly reports, monthly reports, which are required for your audits, right? So these are some of the high-level things that we have been doing. And this slide, talks about the different, clientele that we have in the different sectors like BFSI, media, healthcare, and automotive, where we have modernized their applications, or we have built cloud native applications. Especially, I would like to talk about the healthcare here, since we're talking about COVID situation, right? So this particular application, which we built for one of our client in the US, we are now able to facilitate the whole patient and the doctor interaction without really having to visit the hospital for your basic health issues, right? So the application, again, built on with microservices, hosted on Google Cloud, enables a platform where a patient can, book an appointment, have a video chat with the doctor, invite other expert doctors into it, share the records like your X-rays and things like that. Then eventually get a diagnosis done, get a prescription done right within the app, and even order for the medication from the app and get it delivered. And all this history would be stored where it should be used for your subsequent visits, right? In the automotive sector, we're doing a lot of work with respect to telematics. There's IoT, where the data is collected through your IoT hub, and which is again fed to the BigQuery to come up with the product, the predictive models, right? So these are some of the examples that we've been working on in the modernization journey, using GCP as a platform, and with Niveus being the modernization partner, right? These are some of the other clients, segregated according to the enterprise level. We have Star, Firstsource, ICICI, and TVS, ASL. In digital native, we are working with clients like Catchpoint, Wingify, Elastic Run, OnMobile, D2K Technologies, and in the BSC sector, we have been working with LIC Housing Finance and IRCTC, right? I hope this small 10 minutes I was able to cover, or at least give you a high-level introduction on how a partner can work with organizations like you to embrace the cloud journey, right? Thank you. Thanks a lot for your time, and back to you, Shipra.
Thank you, Bharat. Thank you for that presentation that gives us an overview of Niveus's play in cloud arena. So with that, we come to the last segment, which is the Q&A segment. And we have some questions for Anand, Deepak, and Bharat, all three of you. So the first question is for you, Anand. So the person wants to know that we understand that you have started using BigQuery and other Google native services as part of your data analytics. So how do you see these services helping you scale and improve your accuracy in prediction?
So, I think there are a lot of tools and technologies out there to do machine learning today. In terms of, somebody can use a Google Bigquery, or someone else would want to use a Azure machine learning workbench. Somebody else can use a AWS SageMaker. From the standpoint of a purist, I would say, one would want to go and leverage these or build, analytical solutions, right from start, right? In open source framework using Python, develop algorithms over there. But what you can do with, some of these additional services is you can move quickly. You don't need to, apply all the configurations, all the, things that you need while developing a model. That process becomes easy. So I think that way, we've started using Google BigQuery from time to time, depending upon, we today sort of try and build models across different, other than using our own recipes. Our data science module, that gives, ready-made recipes in classification and regression to solve those problems. We use a lot of other ones as well. We look at which is giving us the best accuracy and, use one of those for operationalizing. So that's our general approach to, handling these sort of problems.
Okay. Thanks, Anand. Deepak, the next question is for you, and it is that, what are the key differentiators which Google Cloud brings in the AI and ML space compared to your competitors, and how are these differentiators going to help the digital native organizations?
So thanks for the question. I'm actually going to be depending a lot on Bharat and Suyog to also partner with me in answering this question. But just to summarize, we have seen Google eating its own dog food, so to speak, right? We've been a born in the cloud company. We have leveraged analytics right from the word go. We have been able to build out an infrastructure that supports that level of analytics. And we're talking about scale of 1 billion users. So today, if we have 8 products that have 1 billion active users, the kind of analytics that we can run, the predictability that we can offer, and the kind of level of scale at which we operate is unprecedented. I don't think there's anybody who can boast of that in today's world. And we've been able to extend the same level of analytics to our customers as well. And today we are seeing customers who are leveraging the whole analytics platform to doing several things. Right, I have seen customers using our ML APIs for recognition of speech, of video intelligence, of again sentiment analysis. I have seen customers leverage the analytics platform to do querying, in a serverless environment. Whereas again other analytics platforms do have certain dependencies. A lot of our customers work with us on 2 aspects. One is on this whole scale aspect, and I see a lot of digital native companies talking about this, that how do I sort of scale today? If I'm 1 million users today, how can I scale the same platform to 10 million users tomorrow, right? So that scale becomes a big thing. The second is the whole agility piece that we have to offer. So nobody has to really depend a whole lot in terms of skill sets, because many of the environments that we're talking about is open source. So anybody can start using it at any time. There's no sort of proprietary level lock-in that is required to be on an analytics platform, right? We're an open source company. You look at TensorFlow, you look at Kubernetes, all of these are technologies that are open sourced by Google and opened out to others to start leveraging, right? So again, being pioneers in the field of analytics, having that experience of 22 years of managing billion user scale, as well as the ability to build on top of it with the help of our ML APIs for video, for speech, and so on, are really big differentiators for companies. I'd like to leave you with one more thing before I pass it to Suyog and Bharat. Recently, we launched something called Bigquery Omni, which again gives you the flexibility to do querying and, of course, do sort of petabyte level analysis on various platforms, right? And again, you don't have to be dependent only on Google Cloud. You can actually do that across various platforms. So the whole lock-in aspect kind of opens up when you start talking about Google Cloud. Suyog, Bharat, anything you'd like to add from a differentiation standpoint? You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Yeah, sorry for that. So, Deepak, right, like you rightly said, right? So, a lot of our customers are also, now being able to use the whole ML platform, right? It could be from a wide range. I could talk about some of the, very interesting cases where we're talking about identifying the freshness of a fish, right? For a customer where he's into the whole fish, export and import business. So while the whole shipping is there, we're talking about building analytics where he can identify the color of the eye of the fish, the scales, and then identify what fish it is, and then even kind of come up with approximately what's the time or date when it's been caught, right? To kind of assign the freshness of it before it is shipped to different places. That's one example. Coming back to the whole BFSI segment, right? We have user information or user spend information on what kind of items he's purchasing, what's his EMI payment like, what's his average spend on his domestic things like his electricity bill and stuff like that, right? So banks do have all this information, and how can this information, which is collected from various sources like from your point of sale machines to your payment gateways like Google Pay to your actual EMI funds transfer or which happens, right? How can the marketing team of these banks kind of approach the right person with the right product at the right time? We're talking about smart analytics here, where we're not talking about generalized, MarTech kind of a thing where you go and, where you go and put all kind of products to a specific customer. But here we are talking about identifying what the customer's need is for the hour, and then taking that right particular product to him. We're talking about analytics of that scale, right? So all these things, which with respect to the Vision API for OCR, whether it's the Vision API for doing your face mapping, right, identifying of the faces within a video, the whole video analytics part of it, right, is being used in various we are in fact actually working on a lot of these projects across various clients. So that's the reason I tried to give you an example, right, from fish to the banking to your money, right? So it's pretty much everywhere. And like you said, open source tools which are offered by Google Cloud are very, very useful in doing these POCs and rolling out the products much faster and helping our clients make the move much quicker.
Plus, with the recent acquisition of Looker, it's an end-to-end story. So as soon as you analyze, your systems, of course, there's a lot of analytics that is happening at scale. How do you visualize it and sort of present the data to end users? That's another big area. With Looker, we've been able to do that very, very effectively. Please reach out to us for more information. We'll be happy to workshop this for you for your specific use cases and tell you a little bit more about what kind of work are we doing with other digital native customers. Back to you, Shipra.
Thank you so much, Deepak and Bharat, for elucidating on that. In fact, we are almost at time. We are almost hitting 4 o'clock. So thank you so much, Bharat, Deepak, and especially to you, Anand. Thank you so much for taking out time today in the middle of the week for this fireside chat. It was indeed very enlightening, and I'm sure the audience will go back with a lot of learnings which they can apply in their respective organizations. And a big thank you to all the audience who have joined us for this fireside chat. Wish you a great day ahead, and everyone, please stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you, and have a great evening.
Thank you, everyone. Bye now.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Cheers.